Hi, I'm Christine Livingston. I'm the nursery director at Newlife. I get the honor to go over John 18 with you guys today. In full disclosure, when I first read this, I was not excited and I did not think of it as something to look forward to, because when I read it, I was very intimidated. I was very intimidated that I was going to go over the beginning of the ripple effect of what led on to Jesus's crucifixion. So we go from the garden in which they arrested Jesus and Peter cut off the ear of the soldier, to Peter's 3 denials, Jesus being questioned by the high priest and being slapped. And then it concludes at Jesus talking to Pilate, and then they left Barabbas go instead of Jesus, who Jesus was clearly the better option than Barabbas was. And I'm just thinking, okay, God, what are you trying to say? Because there's so much in this chapter. I can't just pick one. I just feel like you're not supposed to pick one. And I feel like there's something so hidden in this where there's 3 different people who are pressed and they act in different ways. So you have Peter, who acted out in anger, and he also acted out in fear, where he cut off the ear of the soldier, and Jesus says, this is not what's going to happen. You need to, he kind of talked Peter down and healed the man's ear. And then he goes into his denials later. There's the high priest's guard who slaps him because he didn't like the way he was talking to the priest, even though Jesus did nothing wrong. To Pilate, who I feel really knew that Jesus was a good guy. He didn't understand why everybody was angry. He didn't think, he knew logically that he should have released Jesus and not Barabbas, but he didn't want an uprising. He didn't want the Jewish people who were arguing and trying to kill Jesus. He didn't want them to cause an uprising and have issues for him later. And I felt God ask me, what are you when you're being squeezed? What are you? What's coming out of you when you're put into situations that aren't comfortable, where these situations are scary or intimidating, or it has an unforeseen future, or you feel like somebody was being disrespectful to you? What comes out of you when you're pushed and when you're squeezed? And I got this vision of a cup of orange juice and a cup of onion juice. And I just felt like I was saying, like, which one do you want to be? Because when Jesus, in all these instances too, he was so kind. He was so at peace, and he knew what nobody else knew. He knew that he was going to face something awful. He knew that what he was going to go through, I don't know if I could do it, but he knew that that's what his job here was to do. And when the soldiers came into the garden, and he says, who are you looking for? And I believe that he says it with such kindness. I don't think he was angry. I think, who are you looking for? And they say, Jesus of Nazareth. And he says, I am he. And I love this part, because when he says, I am he, the soldiers fell to the floor. And I asked myself, what would I do? Right? Okay, they're going to come, and this is what's going to start. The next, couple days are going to be awful. I'm going to be killed. I'm going to go through all these torments. Right now, I can run away. All these soldiers are on the floor. They can't find me. They fell to the floor, but he stood there. And he stood there and he waited for them to get up. And he says, again, who are you waiting for? Or who are you looking for? And they say, we already said Jesus of Nazareth. He says, I am he, but please let my disciples go. They haven't done anything. He made sure that his disciples were safe. And he just speaks so calmly, and he speaks with elegance, and he doesn't lie. He doesn't do anything but just state the truth. And so I felt like I was asking, who are you when you're pushed and you're squeezed? Are you allowing the Father to speak through you? Are you allowing God's Holy Spirit to come out of you when you're squeezed? Or are you attacking people? Are you taking the safe route like Pilate did? Are you denying God because it's easier? Or do you, I don't know, let's kick it up a notch. Are you zoning out on TV because it's easier than to read the Bible? Are you going on Instagram and posting pictures of yourself instead of worshiping and spending time in the Word? When you're going through hard times, are you looking for a social media response that's going to feed your ego, or are you going to dive deep in and feed your spirit? So when your spirit is pushed, and your spirit and your whole persona is being squeezed, what are you allowing to come out, and how are you battling it? Are you battling it in the spiritual, or are you battling it in the flesh? And I just pray that we battle in the spiritual, and that we don't battle in the flesh, because this season, I feel like God's saying, don't miss it. I have so many spiritual gifts for you. Don't miss it. Don't get caught up in other stuff. Focus on me. Don't miss what I have for you. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I love you all. Sorry this went long, but I just couldn't squeeze it down any farther. I hope you guys got something out of that. Bye.